across the oceans till we found the American dream.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ingrid Lemme, and this is my show, American Dream. A show about people, their hopes, their dreams, their family heritage, and their wonderful, wonderful, amazing realities. My guest today is a drop-dead gorgeous young lady, and her name is, well, Angelique, if I pronounce that right, Angelique Monét, and I just call her Angel.
Thank you.
Angelique, thank you for being on my show today. I am delighted that you got all dressed up for me, for our show, and for our viewers. Angelique Monét, let's just first give you a little quick rundown, just the most basics. That she's the CEO and founder of the first of the Hamptons Black International Film Festival. The first summer in the Hamptons, this very summer. You just did it. It was your first time event. We had a little bit of a problem with the weather because we had a storm, but we did it. And boy, was it a success. The press wrote about you right and left. And she is also, besides all these things that she is doing in the world of television, she is definitely an actress. And in her own right. And she is a producer, a director, and she is Miss South Carolina. Please, guys, I need a little applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to sit down and relax because guess what? Angel, on the American Dream Show, it's first of all about family heritage. Tell me about where it all started. Tell me about your heritage.
Well, I'm originally from South Carolina and Colorado, and I enjoyed being out in the West, but raised in South Carolina. So
that pretty much says raised in the South.
Yes.
Where things still are a little different.
Very different.
Very different.
Very different and slow.
Okay, yeah, well.
Things are picking up now, though.
We're picking up, yes. And what did Mom and Dad do? Grandpa, Grandma?
Okay, well, I was actually raised by my mother, who had me at a very young age, and my grandparents. And I came from a great background of just good people. My grandfather is actually a former senator, and he's actually the first African-American man to get nomination for governor.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Actually,
come on.
Yes, and so I was raised in a political family, and my birthdays were always spent on the road. So that's why the arts mean so much to me, because pretty much that's all I had was the arts, and I'm an only child.
Mm-hmm. On the road, basically, they were campaigning, right?
Exactly.
They had yes, and you went with them, and you would basically say, "Can you please vote for my grandpa?"
I did, and I also would sit in the front, and sometimes, my grandmother would get the food ready for me because, it's so many people. It's like, oh my God, can I really eat?
Yeah.
And they would say, you better eat. So
yeah.
it was a different lifestyle, very hard, especially being always in front of people.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about school. Angel, what did it take? Did you like school? What was your favorite?
I'm glad you asked that question because it's very important for people to understand. I actually had a learning disability, and I was in special education classes. When I was in the 5th grade, I was on a 1st grade level. And it was quite embarrassing because my grandmother was a school teacher, okay, and my aunts were so smart. So I was the only one that everyone was like, what's wrong with her? But in reality, what it was that I love the arts. And once they fused the arts in with the writing and reading, I actually excelled and I was ready for high school. Mm-hmm. So by the 5th grade, I took a test and I was ready for high school, and they were amazed that something like the arts would make me more interested in schoolwork.
Isn't that amazing? So as soon as they find the child's passion, what they really are about, that's when they hit it, and the child is able to really bring out what they are about, right?
Exactly.
Yes. But Angel, I understand you eventually became Miss South Carolina. Mm-hmm. No wonder, by your looks, I understand. You have to be a good-looking young lady to go for the title. But what does it take? You have to compete, or how does it work?
Well, I actually did Miss America preliminaries and also Miss USA preliminaries and Miss Black. I was Miss Black South Carolina. And basically what it takes is, you know, the beautiful thing about the different organizations is that different pageant organizations stand for different things. So the pageants that I specifically designed and catered my lifestyle for were pageants that weren't just about exterior beauty, but it was about having talent, being able to speak, articulate, and know what about current events. That way you can be well-rounded as opposed to just being beauty, because beauty, quote-unquote, fades if you're not working on the interior surface.
I see. And what did Grandma and Grandpa say about that?
Oh, they weren't happy.
No.
And my mother, no, they were not happy. My mother was in pageants, and she was a very great dancer. My grandmother was a dancer, and she eventually went to school to become a teacher, and that's how she met my grandfather. Everyone in my family is the art. My aunt is a classical piano player, but when it came time for me, I'm screaming, help me.
Yeah.
I'm bamming on the piano, and they're like, we don't want you to do this. So I snuck into my first pageant. And then they called my grandparents, and then at that point, my mother and grandparents had to say, oh my God, she has to do it, because
that's what she wants to do.
that's what she wants to do, and she already signed the papers, and they're like putting us to the test. So that's how I started pageants.
Yeah. Angel, you are somebody, Angelique Monét. You're a very kind person.
Thank you.
Very kind and very patient, especially with me. Well, you know, we had our God, it wasn't easy to go through all the motions, getting this film festival
Exactly.
all together, etc., etc. Then my husband got ill, then I wouldn't answer the emails, then I wouldn't answer the calls. But eventually we got it all worked out, and you are here today on the show.
I'm very honored and so excited. I've been Facebooking it, telling the world. This is a very big honor to be with you. You're the American dream, and you're an example of what women need to be. That's why I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, honey, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm just one of those American dream stories, that's for sure. But Angel, acting. Eventually, I mean, you got really majorly into, you found out this is something what I want to do. You called me at one point and you said, you know what, I really am looking for a location. This is what I'm filming. That's what I'm doing. And here she was with her whole crew. And she came and you filmed part of your movie right here in Gurney's at the spa. Tell us about that, honey.
Wow, you know, engaging. You know how sometimes in life, you know, you go through, wow, should I believe? So that's the story of engaging. It's a butterfly effect. And basically we started in Miami, had to take a break, and I said, you know, I really want to do something at Gurney's because Miss Ingrid is so nice and everyone there is so nice. So you would believe that I wrote the part just for Gurney's.
No!
I'm telling you the truth. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, I wrote it just for this. And I'm very excited. I mean, Miss Candace Monte made a cameo in the film. And basically, the movie Engaging is about a man who engages women for 713 days, ends the relationship and writes books. He meets my character, thinks no means yes. So the scene that we shot here in the Hamptons is when I get a fiance, a very established man from Guyana, South America. And we come here, and this gentleman from Miami comes with a female and thinks that he's going to make me jealous to try to get me. And this is the end. This is when everybody is like, you've got to stop. Leave her alone. That's what we shot here.
Cool. I can tell you, it was a very, very intense few days of filming here, and everybody was very engaged, and everybody was watching. It was really neat. By the way, while we are taking a break, Angel, will you please, you and I have some water, freshen up, and you guys go to the fridge.
Cheers.
See you soon.